undefeated Ole Futsal Club. Big playoff implications on the line. Nobody has cracked the Ole Futsal Club code in Detroit to be the first history of the FCS match live from Detroit, Michigan tonight, and it starts right now. And welcome everybody to the Schoolcraft College Center in Livonia, Michigan. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. It's prime time futsal here in the Futsal Champions Series. And the most heated rivalry in the FCS writes its next chapter tonight. Welcome everybody, I'm Chris Fernandez, and I've been waiting for this matchup all week long. This match in particular is defined by historical friction and a level of physicality that often pushes the boundaries of the match. In their last game, it was a 4-0 victory for Ole. Tensions boiled over, resulting in 2 red cards for Detroit. And Ole coming in with a 7-0 record, perfect this year and last year, led by Fabian Rodriguez, the most successful coach in the history of the SCS. They enter with the chance to extend their perfect season. And they are a squad that excels at pretty much maintaining tactical composure, while some teams will accuse them of playing the refs. But the reality is they're undefeated for a reason, and it's a talented squad at Ole. Meanwhile, Detroit Imperial find themselves in a real precarious position. They're known for a retaliatory style that often draws the ire of officials. They play quite aggressively, and if they have any ambitions of taking full points tonight, they must maintain their discipline to avoid the cards that doomed them in their previous match versus Ole. We're going to take a look at the starting lineups tonight, and it is a hot roster for Detroit as we see Trask and Rodriguez on the wings and Dylan Clark playing in the defender position. Emerson Mena, who else do you want in goal besides the trusted Mena? And then we are going to see quite a few players, Amin Unzar, Suleiman El Mutadi, and quite a few in Ole. Rarely needs any introductions as we see up front the trusted Diaz playing up pivot, normally a winger, and you have Yair Real alongside the trusted bloodline with Marcos on the other wing. And sitting at the back is Johan Vasquez, and in goal tonight is Frankie Mendoza. We talked about playoff implications before. Right now, Ole are in second place with 21 points, with 3 games in hand on Shoreline, who moved up to 25 points, and Ole really on the cusp, not only just getting forward deep into that bye position, number 1 and 2 in this FCS, get that bye week. Detroit Imperial are in third with 15 points, and a win tonight would put them to 18 with 1 game remaining. And that would put them 3 points behind Ole, who would still have 2 games left to play. But Detroit really would separate themselves from Lansing, Ginga, and Chicago. It seems evident that Detroit probably will finish third. For Ole, if all continues to go the way that the runaway train they've been, they're looking to clinch first. And there's nothing better than getting that bye than hosting a semifinal playoff match. And we take a look at the standings. You can hear my words, but the visuals are always better. Shoreline with an 8-1-1 record, absolutely on fire this season in their inaugural FCS campaign. And Ole, perfect 7-0, 56 goals scored. But the real stat there is their 20 goals against. That's practically 50% less than every other team. And we're just moments away from kickoff here in Livonia, Michigan. Grand Rapids versus Detroit, the Michigan Derby. And Michigan, we have kickoff. You see Ole in the white and red, and Detroit All playing in blue. It's only 15 seconds in before the first accumulated foul of the game. Going against Ole. That was Daniel Diaz. Rapids, always known to really take their time and exploit the defenses of their opponents. You can already see them just making the rotations, bunching up, trying to get Detroit out of position and open those gaps. Now, see Ole looking to take the shot. Handled rather easily by Emerson Mena. We got 2 suspensions for tonight. Davide DePoce, the star of Detroit, is out, as Abullah Esaleh, 3 games for violent conduct. That's really going to hurt them. He's been an integral part of that team. DePoce's been the leader with the most minutes when not suspended, as the ball trickles through the crease. Detroit now on the break. Looking for the foul, not getting the call. And Ole will take over with an inbounds in their own half. Couldn't talk any less about the loss of DePoce. He's a very calm defender, but it's very easy to rile him up. And he had some language for the officials last match, as we see a little spin move from Grand Rapids. Oh, a big-time stop by Emerson Mena, who's absolutely steaming with his defenders, who left him out to dry. But fortunately for Detroit, Mena was there. Detroit, despite losing 2 of their star players, still chock full of talent. And really tonight, they're going to have to lean heavily on Peyton Trask in particular, along with Dylan Clark, who brings the speed. The defender just loves to get up there, especially on the flanks. Beautiful inbounds by Detroit. And a shot going wide right of the goal. And Ole coming off with that 7-3 victory over Jinga in their last match on the road. Jinga currently in 5th. And that's where they're going to stay, provided Midwest United do not edge up. Midwest are sitting in 7th. They're out of the playoffs. 3 games remaining. They're sitting on 7 points. So if they're able to string together a couple of wins, they are going to jump over Jinga. But more importantly, even that 6th position with Chicago, who have finished all 10 of their games this season. All it takes is 1 Midwest win, and they will clinch the final berth in the FCS playoffs. The Chicago House would just love to get in to the men's playoffs. Their women have been doing fantastic. A phenomenal victory today over Ole. It was 6-0. And the Chicago House women are absolutely on fire. And will get that bye directly into the championship as a result of the back-to-back victories over Oleh. Oh, beautiful chance on that far post and hitting the iron. Flank it down completely wide open. Two players, in fact. You even had Pablo Real sitting up front. And a sigh of relief from the Detroit faithful. See Dylan Clark with a pass in the crease. An attempt to get it back to him. Nullified by the Oleh defense. Some stellar footwork along the sidelines. We'll certainly see a lot more of Jair Real. Wearing the number 9 in the bottom of the screen for Oleh. Versatile with both feet. Always a treat to watch. And it's a family affair at Oleh with Pablo Real, Jair, and Marcos. Oh, and a great shot by Pablo Real, denied by Emerson Mena, forcing him to go down and paw it out. More contact. Foul called against Oleh. And that's their second of the half. And again, if you're fresh to futsal, each team accumulated fouls are allowed up to 5. But if you commit, every foul after that results in an unopposed 10-meter PK. One of the best rules in futsal, rewarding technical skills and punishing overly aggressive defensive play. This is why futsal is the most technically skillful sport on earth. As Detroit take a shot. And a good angle cut down by Frankie Mendoza. Great run down the wing. Tended to put it for his teammate, and Detroit quickly counter. Detroit playing deep, trying to get a little bit of a scoop over and catch Mendoza. Frankie Mendoza, an intelligent goalkeeper. It's going to take a lot more than that to defeat Oleh's number 12. As we see Cesar Alayo Guerrero coming in, that's number 10 in white. Oleh now into the Detroit half. Taking the shot. And making the stop there was Michael Forbes, who's come into the match for Emerson Mena in goal. Have to wonder if there's been an injury to Emerson Mena or if they're just giving him a rest. He was forced to extend that leg in that save about a minute and a half ago. Big press and a big-time shot. What a start. And he is absolutely revved up, is Cesar Alayo Guerrero. Oleh up 1-0. Almost at the 7-minute mark here in the first half. Oh, Guerrero fooling El Mutadi. We see here, moves the ball, puts it up just under the bar. Great stuff by That's his 9th of the season. 14 points on the campaign for the reliable winger. And Ole opting with a 10-man roster tonight, 8 out-court players. And the call going against Ole. Seemed to be a little bit of back and forth between the two players involved. And the referee coming onto the court. And every moment between these two clubs is integral, but Detroit very wary of going down to Ole. They were shut out in their last match against the Grand Rapids side. They would not want to fall 2-0, but it's a key chance to do that. Oh, the patience of Guerrero. And now quickly, a beautiful slide by Daniel Diaz. Oh, but left point blank was a Detroit forward. And Mendoza came up big to stop that. Another chance for Detroit. Very rare to see Ole make defensive lapses like that, but they did it twice in a row. If it wasn't for the heroics of Mendoza, this could have been tied at 1. And Ole with 3 fouls in the first half so far. See the battle between Guerrero and Dylan Clark. Both speedy. Guerrero going to take a well-deserved break after striking first blood a couple of minutes ago. Great pass. Coming out to deny was a sliding Forbes. Forbes now, the goalkeeper coming out. You got the attacking keeper option. Not the best of attacks. Could have done a little better there was Ricardo Lopez. Again, back on January 23rd in Grand Rapids, it was Ole giving their fans something to cheer about as they were victorious over Detroit 4-0. Solid effort by the entire Ole Futsal Club. Coming out's the keeper, taking a shot on Forbes, who has an open net. Can he score? He cannot. Goes for essentially a frozen rope towards the goal, catching Mendoza out. You do get the advantage with the extra attacker, but you're susceptible to that open net. And it was an interesting call by the legend Ricardinho as Ole get the accumulated foul there. And the 6-time World Player of the Year, Ricardinho of Portugal, talking about how futsal's changed and he doesn't like how the goalkeepers seem to be coming out early on in the match. And it's really changed the dynamic. He doesn't believe we're seeing a lot of more crafty 1v1 players with great footwork. And it drove some hot debate this past week in the futsal world. The game obviously constantly evolving, especially with its rapid growth. One thing's for sure here in the FCS is that futsal in the United States, providing a ton of goals, big saves. And in the case right here of Real, great footwork. As he finds the foot of Dylan Clark, who calmly puts it out. The inbounds from the corner. Seeing Ole exploit the space. Just out of bounds, intended for Lopez. Both teams wanted to exploit the 20-meter width. A chance again. Blocked by Clark. But Ole really starting to set the tempo. And a great ball. And the shot denied. The rebound completely misses over the crossbar. That was the best chance of the match for Detroit so far, as the shot denied by Mendoza and had to dive in order to kind of cut down any visual for Detroit's follow-up shot. But they'll have a corner as the referee instructing Ole to give the intended 5 meters required. Ooh, and slipping there. Just barely getting the ball over to Jaden Mirza. And Ole with a 2v1. Oh, and Detroit come back just in the nick of time to prevent that from being a clear goal-scoring opportunity. And another foul going against Ole. And with just slightly over 8 minutes remaining, they're really going to need to tone down the physicality. Otherwise, they can allow Detroit to get an opportunity from the 10-meter spot. And you hear Rodriguez and the bench saying no foul. A common call across futsal courts around the world once a team gets to 4 or 5 fouls. See Detroit, again, currently in third with a 5-3 record, but 1-2 in their last 3. They'll have one more game after this. And so Ole with a breakaway. Oh, and he just absolutely misses that, and it's not often that you see Cesar Guerrero miss a key chance in front of goal. Oh, and almost a little bit of an own goal there, forcing Mendoza to jump up and tip it over. You see Mena back in goal after Michael Forbes getting a few minutes in there. Playing in 7 of Detroit's games this season. Has a 4-2 record. Fantastic, 145 saves from his opening 7 matches. Oh, beautiful pass. And not able to turn around in time and get an opportunity to beat Mena. It was a beautiful scoop from the back. Talked about the perfect record of Ole. 7-0 on the season, with a chance to clinch first. And a light shot by Lito Esquivel. Not getting the better of Mena. And we hear some words from Detroit's bench. It actually was an illegal substitution as the referee's coming over. In order to sub in futsal, You have to do it within a 5-meter spot in front of your bench, and the player coming off the court has to grab the penny from the player that's coming onto the court. And in that case, the referee had judged an illegal substitution, and Detroit getting the first yellow of the half. Some more chirping going on. And Davide DePoce suspended for this match for talking too much. And he's in the stand still chirping. Oh, a beautiful throw, finding the foot of Ricardo Lopez, who hits the side of the goal. That would have been an absolutely spectacular goal had they finished that. Oh, just sitting completely unmarked. Look at that throw. Boom. Ricardo Lopez knows if he had hit that, it probably would have been the goal of the week. While we take the time out, Saturday Night Futsal, everybody needs a little boost. And if your business, your company, your organization needs a boost, there's only one friend you need, and that is Ally Marketing, a proud supporter of the FCS and futsal here in the United States of America. Ally Marketing, let's be friends. Game back underway. Ole holding a 1-0 lead, almost making it 2-0. Courtesy of the shot from Haya Real. The trident of the Hayals on this team. So see the winger looking for his spot, trying to go between two Detroit players, but not able to do so. Still have the inbounds. than 5 minutes remaining in the opening half here on Saturday Night Futsal at the FCS. Oh, and a great run by Detroit. Can they capitalize? Solid defensive positioning, clearing that ball away from danger as the quarter comes for Imperial. Booming left-footed shot, but not able to hit the target. Detroit have had their chances to tie this up and then some, but just not having the finish. That was an absolute rocket of a shot. Would love to see what the speed was on the radar gun there. Oh, key chance. And the tip from Real. And he's not happy with that call. Detroit with another corner. Oh, a pivotal mistake results in a second goal. An absolute blunder from Dylan Clark at the back. Don't know what he was thinking with two Olay players closing in on him and Michael Forbes out of his goal. And an easy goal, easiest of the season probably for Olay, doubles up their lead 2-0 here in the first. And you have to think that Clark couldn't pass back over to Forbes, but at the very least, you got to turn around and put that ball out of bounds for a corner, but not try to take on this aggressive Olay side in a 1v2 with an open net. Uncharacteristic mistake by Dylan Clark. Has the ball now, looking to see what he can do to cut this deficit back down to 1. And the referee blowing the whistle, and that is going to be the 5th accumulated foul for Olay. And Detroit will have just slightly over 3 minutes to see if they can draw another foul. And if they get to the 10-meter spot, they have quite a few guys on their roster who know how to blast rockets. And it will put Frankie Mendoza to the test, but you have to think that Detroit are going to pressure real hard. And they did with that as Emerson Mena came out of his goal, utilizing that 5th attacker. Pass just out of reach, intended for Diaz. Long-range throw, not able to find the intended winger, who was Ricardo Lopez. They connected earlier for a beautiful throw and a one-shot, but just didn't get the right angle on it. Now bringing Mendoza out as the extra attacker. Mendoza on the opposing side of the court so he can get as many passes and for as long as he wants. Whereas if he's in his own court, he gets only 1 touch and for a maximum of 4 seconds. And you'll notice the referees putting the hand up for every second that goes by, as these referees are instructed to do in the FIFA futsal laws of the game. We talked earlier a little bit about Daniel Diaz and his performance. 12 goals, 5 assists. He's 4th in the league for goals. Diaz has been fantastic for Ole. Remarkable 12 goals from 13 shots, or for 33 shots, I should say. That would have been a high percentage to say the least. As we see Detroit just looking to crack this difficult nut. As they try to crack open a fresh walnut with your bare hands. Is this Ole defense? The stingiest in the league, only 20 goals conceded from 7 games. And there's the foul. And a pivotal opportunity now, a 10-meter shot. That's gonna test Frankie Mendoza and Ole. And is it going to be Michael Forbes, the goalkeeper, that takes it for Detroit? It appears so. Goalie versus goalie action. Reminds me of Ricardo versus David James at Euro 2004. Ricardo taking off the gloves with bare hands. Here we are 22 years later. Can Forbes score for Detroit? Oh, can't hit the net. And a key opportunity missed for Detroit. And they're not going to get too many of those. Less than 2 minutes left. Ole will be quite keen not to foul again. Look at the confidence on the ball from Imperial. And this pass, the referee not calling it there. Running out of bounds was Dylan Clark. Clark hasn't gotten to his normal rhythm. Seems a little bit under pressure. He's a little frazzled. Loves to exploit the wings. When he has space, he absolutely explodes, and he's very difficult to contain. But this Ole side, full of experience. And that shot wasn't going on, but it actually went off the foot of Clark, and Forbes was there to palm it out for the corner. We see Emerson Mena coming back in. The unmistakable bleach hair of Mena. And a foul called against Detroit. Normally they're the ones getting the foul calls, but rather disciplined tonight and taking advantage of Ole's over-aggression. Just not able to capitalize on that 10-meter PK opportunity. They call it a 10-meter free kick officially, but it is an unopposed shot on the goalie, which is a PK in everybody's mind. As we see the signaling from Imperial, trying to get his guys to move around. He's so good with the ball on both feet, and he moves quickly laterally. And he's going to try it again here. And even when you know he's going to do it, you just can't stop him. Great ability to chest that ball down, and now Clark will see what he can do on his end, getting a good pass off. Not able to get the shot. And a Detroit player down as the buzzer sounds for the end of the first half. And an excellent display by Ole Futsal Club as they are up 2-0 over the host Detroit Imperial. We got to see what adjustments that Pierce Brannigan, the head coach of Detroit's going to make to get back into this and give his diehard supporters here in Michigan something to cheer about. And Ole, clearly the major adjustment they need to make is to be calmer and not cause as many fouls. Otherwise, it'll give Detroit an ample opportunity to get back into this. But right now, Ole in the driver's seat, 2-0 at half here on the Futsal Champions Series. Saturday Night Futsal main event. We'll be back shortly after halftime. Grab yourself a hot plate, grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a cold one, but don't you dare miss the second half, the final 20 minutes between Detroit Imperial and Grand Rapids. Ole Futsal Club up 2-0. We'll see you in a few short moments.
We're ticking down to the final moments. Shoreline City trying to put something together. Aldoni Mendez, he's shielding off Hasevic's toe poke, finds the back of the net. Shoreline's up by 1 with a minute to play.
Wow, Aldoni Mendez just showing his intelligence to shield the ball, to not let Hasevic come through, and just to prevent, I mean, Hasevic is pulling at him, just to prevent any
ball being the rocket it is, that could cause some trouble tonight for Fabian Rodriguez in goal. And Shoreline, big time stop right off it, and the rebound buried in there. And Shoreline just continuing to lay it on thick.
Committing a crime so you can try to escape from prison. Bad idea. Going to the pod escape room to play an escape game with your friends. Great idea. Test your skill as an astronaut in outer space. Find Santa in Save Christmas. Or take a vacation to an abandoned island. Just don't get stuck there. The Pod Escape Room. Learn more at thepodlansing.com.
Tonight, the first ever FIFA Women's Futsal World Cup takes place at Detroit. Go in and they get the first of the night. Wonderful work deep into the Jenga zone. There was Detroit Imperial, and we see them with a sigh of relief after opportunity after opportunity. And who else? DePoce to Abullah Esaleh.
McKenzie plays it in, gets it right back to Ramsey Terminini. Weisenhunt's across. Whoa! Hold up! Ramsey Terminini from the circle.
And just like that, Jenga is back in this match. What a shot from Terminini from deep.
My.
Unbelievable. He unleashes just power.
Placement to the upper 90 back post, and the lead is ultimately asking the question, like, was this the best match of futsal on U.S. soil? From a perspective of an entire 40 minutes of futsal, two teams that are playing really good futsal. It's back and forth, but not because it's chaotic.
The intensity just kept increasing.
Yeah.
And it started at kickoff.
Very little drop-off or mistake, and they just keep playing that really good futsal. This is what it's supposed to look like right here. There's no doubt that the environment, it's a part of what makes the game what it is. But I think, like, this is a game that if you took all that away and you just watched the game, it would be amazing still. Like, if I'm a fan of Midwest and I watch that game, and we have what I would be, in my opinion, one of the best keepers in the league. And he's not playing the second half.
And to Marco, what we saw, he gave up 6 goals. Lucario was in there for 20 minutes. First half, didn't give up any. And so, like, that's a huge disparity.
You're watching the Futsal Champions Series on FCS Live.
They're currently down 2. Here's Hindich at the near post. She slots it in. What a placement.
Yeah, fantastic
From number 9,
placement.
Medina Hindich. We take another look.
That's what,
Wow.
Ole has to be frustrated with the goalkeeping. I mean, he's going to be the best pivot in the league. Best pivot in the league. Yeah, we really hadn't even talked about him yet today. So incredible on the ball. His ability to hold up play, his ability to allow the offense to run through him, his creativity, his ability to capture the ball and spin and shoot and score. It's just really one of the best in the league. I mean, him and Trezor Crispane, I think, are the best, the most solid traditional pivots that we have in the league.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised with how we did. I feel like we did compete to the level that we could. I think you could definitely tell like our lack of experience. I think some of our goals were generally just some mistakes, and I think it's like a combination of nerves and just not, having the experience playing at the pace that we were playing. It's really fast, and I think if we tighten that up, like we could have, stayed.
Yeah.
Really like there with them, which is cool. I think for our first game, especially going against a team like Ole, I was really proud of the way we played.
Yeah. Things inside towards the left. Ready with Madison McCarthy. And they get it into the back of the net. That was Jenna Lee, number 4.
Great build-up play right here from Lansing City just to continue to work it in. Jenna Lee made a fantastic play. You want to make that pass to the back foot and really give your teammate an opportunity just to slide it home first time, but Aldama was not able to handle it.
Midwest are able to work it up. How about this back post? A pretty goal. Raul Montañez doubles the lead.
Look, Aldama could not handle the pass to put it away himself, so he said, you know what, Montañez, I'm going to give it back to you, Raul. With a little back heel flick, just roll over, give it back to him. Montañez.
You're watching the Futsal Champions Series on FCS Live.
Welcome to the Ally Marketing Halftime Show. Ally Marketing, let's be friends.
And we are back for the second half here for the prime time Saturday night futsal game of the week. The rivalry in Michigan lives on, and it is a close match. Ole Futsal Club from Grand Rapids currently with a 2-0 lead over a Detroit Imperial team, playing in front of a home crowd. Ole have really dictated the tempo, but Detroit have certainly had their share of chances. But they've been more Swedish than Finnish because they haven't hit the target quite a bit. And they're going to be looking to see what they can do to get back into this match. coming into goal for Ole is Andres Montez. Wondering what the conversation was like in the Detroit Imperial dressing room. We see another giveaway by Clark. And a shot that can only be described as real wide. Didn't even go past the goal line. As we take a look at Detroit's average goals per game. They've scored 6. They were shut out in the opening game against Grand Rapids last month. And Grand Rapids have shut it down tonight. Trying to sell a foul was Guerrero, but he was making a mountain out of a molehill on that. The referee not going to be fooled. As we see the long-range effort from Amin Unzar. It'll take a lot to beat the likes of Andres Montez after a great first-half performance. Flawless, really, from Frankie Mendoza. As Ole will get the inbounds pass. That's Lito Escabel getting some more minutes. Saw him early on in the first half. And Detroit resetting at center. Great pass. And a slide still has it is Detroit. Oh, the pass just not hitting, but a shot came out of nowhere, forcing Montez to go down, but a sliding right-handed save. A better opportunity would have been just in front of the 6-meter goal crease, but no can do as Detroit now pressing once more. Oh, a wide open pass, just extended. And not able to hit the foot of Dylan Clark. And again, both teams already have their playoff spots secured. Ole currently in second. And they played 7. Again, a perfect record for the Grand Rapids base side. Detroit cannot finish lower than 3rd. Still with a very slight opportunity to pass Ole for 2nd place and the coveted bye round and a hosting in the semifinals. There's a lot of goal difference, and Ole look well positioned to get that bye. Oh, it was a great effort by Detroit, but Montez coming off his line to cut that angle down. Detroit looking a lot better in the opening 2.5 minutes. And the shot from Unzar leaves much to be desired as he missed by about 5-6 meters. Easy work for the defender from Ole to come out, open the space. Oh, it finishes in. And just like that, Ole take a commanding 3-0 lead.
Welcome to the Ally Marketing Half.
We'll take another look. It's a beautiful pass. Found the foot of Cesar Martinez, who was wide open. He could have opened the maul with all the space he had in that crease. And that really came from lazy defensive pressure up front that allowed the Olé defender to just completely walk through like nobody was there. Had a great run as we see Olé getting called for the accumulated foul. Futsal being the fastest sport in the world, we know there's a lot of new viewers watching from around the United States and Canada. 5 accumulated fouls per half each team is allowed. Any foul after that resulting in a 10-meter PK. And Olé got in a foul trouble in the first half. He committed 6 fouls. And Michael Forbes wasn't able to hit the target and beat Frankie Mendoza. And that goal could have really changed the dynamic going into halftime and put some wind in the sails of Detroit. That's been the story pretty much every game that Olé Futsal Club have played, including last season. Nobody able to solve this puzzle. Oh, and a great run by Detroit, finds them open, and they get the opener that they so desperately needed. And the crowd absolutely on fire here in Livonia, Michigan. Oh, a pass diving over in a simple tap in. Great effort to split the Olé defense. And that's the kind of gritty effort that Detroit are going to have to deliver every second of this half as they cut the deficit down to 2. 3-1 Olé.
If you're not talking about the meme, if you're talking about the meme.
Referee taking a little bit of time to explain to Olé what had happened. And that third goal that appeared to be the dagger, not the case, as Detroit back in business. After being shut out in their game back on January 23rd, 4-0. We have 4 goals tonight, but Detroit have 1. And there is plenty of time, as we know in futsal, to even things up. And they'll be buoyed by this raucous home crowd in the Michigan Derby. Oh, another opportunity for Olé to get that lead extended back to 3, and not able to hit the mark is Marcos Real. One spike on that Real trident as Detroit pressing again. The pace of this game has really picked up. Late pressing, but denied by Detroit's defense. And going 1v3 is Suleimani El Mutadi. The man has confidence as we take a look at Cesar Martinez, 2 goals and 7 assists. He's number 6 in the FCS for assists. And if you're a stat head like we are here at the FCS, we have plenty coming for you. Don't you worry. And if you do want to check it out after the match because you don't want to miss a second, you know you can always check it out at the FCS official website. That's Futsal Champions Series, and the second goal is scored for Detroit, and they have cut the deficit down to 1. And this game is going to go right down to the wire. And the conversation at half as we take a look at the replay. Dylan Clark feeding a wide open man who calmly buries it. And boom, just like that, catching Montez out of goal. And now the referee having words with Emerson Mena. And with just slightly over 5 minutes going into the second, Ole find themselves only up a goal after being up 3-0. And ladies and gentlemen, we knew this was the main event. We knew this was Saturday Night Futsal written all over it. And Detroit, ever so close to tying it up. Detroit off a giveaway. Can they capitalize on the mistake? Just running out of real estate was El Mutadi. Oh, a great move and a chance again for Detroit. You have to think he had a little bit more space to kind of get a better shot off. He was on a little bit too much of an angle. Wasn't going to be fooling Montez. Dylan Clark, talked about him earlier, made a critical mistake that resulted in Ole's second goal. Oh, and almost finding the man on the far post. And Ole countering, and they get the fourth and double up the lead again to 4-2. After Detroit almost tied it up. A defensive pass found the foot of a surging Ole forward. And just like that, it's 4-2. And a cool, calm finish by who else? The right foot of Cesar Alayo Guerrero. And a sigh of relief from Fabian Rodriguez and Juan Galindo. And the rest of the Ole bench. They had 2 goals in the first half. And in the first minute of the second, oh, slide, missing the ball, and Guerrero not able to do anything more after he hurdled him. But 4 goals in 6 minutes. Those Michigan derbies dead serious. These teams absolutely do not like each other. You see a foul called, and some words that Guerrero has, and a yellow card, and accumulated foul issued to Detroit. Referee giving him the warning. That is going to Ahmed Abderrahmane. Look at this long run up on the free kick. Hits the 2-man wall. Breathing space with this 2-goal lead. Well, that seen as a dangerous lead in futsal. This Detroit press, and he had the keeper beat, but just didn't have the right angle. And you have to wonder, if Ole do concede a 3rd goal, do they bring back in Frankie Mendoza? He kept a clean sheet in the opening 20 minutes. We see big Daniel Diaz with the inbounds pass over to Johan Vasquez. on that left flank unsuccessfully. Zunzar looking to see what he can do to cut this Olay deficit down to 1. Press. Not missing by much was Diaz. It's going to take a hard shot to beat the likes of Emerson Mena, but you got to get it on target first. Talked about Mena, we got stats, and here it is. He leads the FCS all goalkeepers in save percentage, in number of saves, and assists. This man has been fantastic all season long. And a long-range pass intercepted. Very nice by Olay. Full-size court. Oh, a great move and a chance for Detroit. And taken a deflection off of the foot of Olay's defender, resulting now in a corner for Imperial. They put it on net. Nobody home to put in the rebound. We talked about Menez's performance with 3 of the top 4 goalkeepers in this match coming into the game. Emerson Mena, 145 saves, tops in the league from 7 matches. That's a remarkable stat. And also first in save percentage, which is even better at .868 save percentage for the trusted keeper. He is definitely a front runner for goalkeeper of the year. Oh, and another great move is Detroit press. Olay able to recover. Just slightly over 11 minutes remaining here in the second half. It's the game of the week on Saturday Night Futsal here in the FCS. Risky business at the back, but very confident play, resulting, well, in that case, resulting in a foul called against Detroit. It'll be a free kick situation about 10 meters away from goal as Mena gets nice and low to measure up his angle. Goal here would be a real kick in the gut against Detroit. Can Olay capitalize? That shot does not. Off his back heel, shooting a few meters over the crossbar. So we see another long-range throw. We've seen Detroit attempt that a few times tonight. Oh, and a key chance denied by Emerson Mena, who takes it off the face. And if you've ever played futsal before, especially as a keeper, you know firsthand that it hurts when you get shot. This is not the ballet, this is futsal. As Mena recovers, we'll do a comparison of goals against average of FCS keepers. We see Mendoza with a 2.59 goals against average. Number 2 is Aiden Hanchett, not in the game tonight. He's at 2.92. With Andres Montez and Mena closing it out. Montez with a 3.12 and 4.024. Emerson Mena. The Shot blocked by the defender in Detroit. Oh, beautiful move, but not able to get the pass off. Was finding Jaden Mirza wide open. And a crisis averted for Ole. And a foul going against OFC. And the aggression and speed of this game has really picked up. Detroit are going to have to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, to beat this stingy Ole defense. And another accumulative. That's 2 within about 16 seconds. Ole got into foul trouble in the first half, and they're really going to need to dial it down. Because if they give Detroit an opportunity from the 10-meter spot, this really could cause them a lot of problems. They want to maintain that perfect 7-0 record. But Detroit hungry to beat their rivals and show them that they mean business going towards the FCS playoffs, which culminates on championship weekend, and that's March 28th in Lansing, Michigan. We'll have the men's championship, the women's, and of course the FCS futures, all at the beautiful baby blue court in Lansing, Michigan. And that's the weekend of March 28th. And another. And the referee putting his hand up in the air. 5th foul of the half. Ole Futsal Club foul out in consecutive halves. And with close to 10 minutes remaining, they really need to calm it down. Plenty of time for Detroit to get into this. And if Ole indeed take their foot off of the pedal in terms of their defensive aggression, Detroit could have some critical opportunities. As we see Dylan Clark look like he was trying to jump the offensive line in the NFL rather than futsal. Detroit will get the inbounds, and then they will also call a timeout. And again, if you're fresh to futsal, each team gets 1 timeout per half, lasting 1 minute. What a second half it's been so far. And one thing we know for sure is this game is definitely going to be talked about. The Michigan Derby, always a hot topic. And you can check out what everybody has to say on the third half, the official show of the Futsal Champions Series. You can watch the third half for free on the FCS YouTube channel. You already know where it is. You're watching the game right now on it. And that's Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's 7 Central. Make sure you watch the third half this Thursday at 8 p.m., 7 Central, only on the FCS YouTube channel. Timeout finally done. Detroit, you already know what kind of adjustment they made as Emerson Mena tried to come out as the attacking keeper. Oh, a beautiful ball in the chest right off the crossbar. He absolutely smashed that. Oh, that would have been a spectacular goal by Ole. And a 5th goal would certainly take the wind out of the sails for Detroit, even though they still have quite an advantage in the foul count. And if you missed it moments ago, here's that underhanded toss, chest out, boom, off the crossbar, and then falls over Mena. That's a beautiful thing about futsal. If you blink, you miss. This is a sport where everybody's involved. If you're not hunting, then you are the hunted. Soleil's side always showcasing that they're dangerous at any second of the match, and that's why they are undefeated. Looking nice so far with the 4-2 lead. A big shot denied by Mena. Had to palm that down in front of him. It was a juicy rebound. Nobody home to bury it. Detroit certainly got to be cautious about that. 8.5 remaining. The suspense thick as a brick. Will Detroit come out with Mena as the attacking keeper a lot more? Will Ole cause a 6th foul? Oh, great defensive effort and the counter, the shot. Oh, buries it in the low corner. A brilliant play, Johan Vasquez makes it 5-2 Ole. Great stuff by the trusted defender Vasquez. And that's why Ole have signed him. Absolutely strips and puts it 5-hole. And Mena knows that he should have done better, but it was an excellent finish by Vasquez. The fans in Detroit just shaking their heads, wondering how they can just beat and solve this Ole puzzle. Detroit getting back into it. A huge save by Andres Montez. Absolutely critical save that could have brought this game to 5-3. But Ole still with the 3-goal advantage. Long range pass, finding his pivot, but not able to control off the first touch. It appeared to be Peyton Trask. And the Detroit player goes down, no foul called. Oh, Ole on the attack. And Michael Forbes getting low and getting the bottom of his foot off it to make the save. And one has to wonder, we saw Forbes connect earlier with the long-range throws. Oh, Detroit wide open. Oh, low save. And the right foot of Montez denying another goal-scoring opportunity from Imperial. And it's been nothing but end-to-end action here in the second half. As Detroit pressing desperately. Oh, the pass from Clark, just missing the surging run of Ricardo Lopez. We're going to have to watch for Lopez, if Forbes stays in this game, the favorite target of the goalkeeper, who has a fantastic arm. One of the best throwing goalkeepers in it, and also not a bad shot stopper, as we just saw that as well. Mike Forbes coming into the match with 4 games this season, 29 saves. The inbounds by Pablo Real. Foul called against Grand Rapids, and that's going to be the 6th. And a lifeline given to Detroit. As a Grand Rapids player taking down Imperial's Dylan Clark. And it's a 10-meter PK opportunity for Detroit. They absolutely need this. 5:45 remaining. This would take the lead down to 2 and really put the momentum back. in the favor of the hosts, and they're going to allow the goalkeeper, Michael Forbes, to take the shot. Forbes versus Montez. Something's got to give. Montez allowed to come up 5 meters to cut down the angle. Oh, denied by Montez. A critical stop. Keeps this game at 5-2. And Ole really have to calm down with their aggression. We see foul called against Amin Unzar. The frustration mounting for Detroit as we take another look at Michael Forbes' PK attempt. Puts it down straight. Could have done a little better was Forbes. Montez seeing that one a mile away. As we take a look at number 11, Amin Unzar. 8 goals and 3 assists on the campaign for Unzar. Has 11 points. No foul called as Ole on a 3v2. Done a little bit better with that as we see a Detroit player down now. Just slightly over 5 minutes left. Detroit trailing Ole. Detroit have averaged 6 goals a game. But when you're playing a team like Ole that have only allowed 20 goals from their 7 matches, you're asking a heck of a lot of your offense. And you just have to wonder how long Coach Pierce Brannigan is going to wait before he utilizes Forbes as the extra attacker. Pressing a left-footed shot. Stopped by Forbes. And Ole, very patient, keen to kill the seconds off. Finds some space, but hits the back of the foot of Abullah Mena. Detroit pressing high. Will be an inbounds for Ole. Pass. Not able to find his intended winger. It was a great idea to get that one-touch pass over to find the surging Dylan Clark. And we see the stat line down there with Andres Montez. 11 goals against from 7 games. It's 3rd best in the FCS. As we take a look at Ole's Montez. Oh, and a big giveaway by Forbes. And that's going to be the dagger in the hearts of the Detroit faithful. A mistake by Michael Forbes, caught out of his net for the 2nd time this game. The first time wasn't really his fault, but that one, he had a wide open player on the flank he could have passed to, and he knows better than that. 6-2 Ole. And with just over 4 minutes remaining, it's going to take something real special That goal by Vasquez is the second of the night. A solid attempt by Mirza to find his attacker on the far post, but a little bit too high and a little bit too much pepper on that sauce. Montez. Back in goal, wants to get on the score sheet. Montez loves to get involved. Detroit just not able to get out of the depth of their zone and force the turnover as Ole will have the inbounds into Detroit territory. Ole still pressing, 3:13 on the clock. We take a look at some of the upcoming FCS matches, and that's tomorrow, Sunday, March 1st at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central Time. It is Shoreline versus Ole. Detroit with a 2v1, but denied. Great defending by Johan Vasquez. 2 goals. He's solid offensively and just showcased great defensive positioning, preventing Detroit from getting back into this. And Ole have averaged 8 goals per match. They got 6 tonight. Would love the match and keep on pace for the 8th. Detroit really hasn't played badly in any way. They've had key opportunities. They've just missed a lot of finishing and made 2-3 defensive lapses. When you do that against the likes of Ole, you will pay. Trying to find the head of Lito Escabel. We haven't seen a lot of Lito tonight. That was a good pass and handled quite well by Soleiman El Moutadi. Solid first touch. Unfortunately, that pass just a little too high. Looking to get into it. Oh, great pass! Oh my goodness, that would have been a remarkable finish. And Detroit with a wide open, surging El Moutadi. We'll take one last look, right-footed, and all he had to do was just slightly touch. The keeper was beat. And that's really just been the story of Detroit's night. Missed opportunities. You certainly know that Brannigan is going to have that conversation in practice this week. Left-footed shot, taking a block off the defender. The next game for Detroit is Tuesday, March the 10th. That's 8:45 p.m. Eastern. An away match against Midwest United. And Midwest currently find themselves out of the playoffs in 7th position. But a win would see them clinch the 6th and final spot into the playoffs. So Midwest will come out guns a-blazing at home on March the 10th against Imperial. Fouling out is Detroit, and a 10-meter opportunity for Ole. Can they make it lucky number 7? Oh, it was a rocket, but went a couple of meters up high and over the bar. Long-range throw by Mena, not finding his man. Oh, foul was called. Looked a little soft from up here. And Pablo Real not happy with that call whatsoever. We'll take another look at that battle between Dylan Clark of Detroit and Pablo Real. It was a good sail in my eyes by Dylan Clark, but hey, desperate times, desperate measures. And that's what you got to do, a smart play by Clark. The time is ticking, and this probably would be a consolation goal if they are to score, but they have not been able to capitalize on any of their 10-meter PKs. Can Detroit do it now? They can. Oh, did that go in? It looked like it crossed the line, but it went post to post. Oh, that was something. That even moved the net off its mooring. And the referee signaling no goal. He was on the goal line. He had the best view. That shot was so hard it looked like it just kind of took a piece off Montez and went in, but it went off the other post. Oh, and that one just missing wide. And Ole on their way to another victory. They'll go 8-0 tonight. Their next game this Thursday, March the 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. And they'll also take on Midwest. Midwest with 3 games remaining in the season. They just need one victory, and it'll be a tough one as they play the number 2 and number 3 ranked teams in the league. They'll want to capitalize on that match against Detroit, but if they're able to beat Ole later this week, that'll be a statement of intent to the rest of the league, to say the least. Now just kind of looking to give their fans a third goal. As we see Montez with 2 10-meter PK saves tonight. Ole also getting another one in the first half, but Michael Forbes not able to hit the net. As we see Ole with a shot denied by Mena. And a wide open man at the far post. Did Pablo Real. PK with just seconds remaining in the game being given to Detroit, and Detroit opting to have their goalkeepers take the PKs in this match. Not something you see very often, if at all. But now actually, instead of Emerson Mena, they're going with an out-court player. Almost fooled us. Can Detroit get the consolation goal and make it 6-3? And the run-up stopped by the referee's whistle. Sometimes it's just hard to get this ball stuck on that 10-meter spot. This beautiful penalty Max 1000, the best futsal ball on the planet. It's Dylan Clark. Runs up and a big save, the third from the 10-meter PK spot by Andres Montez. That's 3 PK saves. He had a rocky start to the first bit of the second half, but really calmed it down and made some big saves. As the clock winds down, can Ole get one last chance before the buzzer? They take the shot, and they were not far off the mark there. One long-range effort by Mena, chested down as it goes out of bounds. Just seconds remaining. And the horn sounds, and Ole Futsal Club come into their rivals' home and beat Detroit by a 6-2 scoreline. Another impressive performance from the undefeated Grand Rapids side that moves now to 8-0. And with 2 games in hand on Shoreline, who completed their season earlier today, all Ole have to do in one of their final 2 matches is simply win, and they will clinch top spot again and win the regular season. They'll get a bye in the first round, and more importantly, host a semi-final match here in the FCS playoffs. And we know what the home crowd means. If you haven't attended an FCS match, you got to make sure you check it out. Doesn't matter if you're in Illinois, Michigan, or Ohio. Action is tight, and the goals are aplenty, as we saw tonight. 6-2 for Ole. Detroit now dropping to 5-4, and will have only 1 game remaining. They will finish in 3rd place, no matter what. But they are certainly going to want to beat Midwest and play spoiler to their playoff hopes. But Detroit want to get the victory in that game against Midwest to ensure that they have some momentum moving forward. Ole, can anybody stop this runaway futsal train? Nobody's been able to do it yet. And a solid performance for the most part. Great goalkeeping by Frankie Mendoza and Andres Montez, splitting duties in the half. Cesar Alayo Guerrero having a solid match, as did Cesar Martinez for Ole. And Juan Galindo, the manager, and head coach Fabian Rodriguez will be pleased with their performance tonight. Their 2nd consecutive 4-goal victory against Detroit. Firstly 4-0, and tonight 6-2. We hope that you enjoyed the action here on Saturday Night Futsal's main event. Ole 6, Detroit 2. Make sure you check out the FCS website, futsalchampionseries.com, for all the scores, stat schedules, and of course, all the highlights available on our YouTube, the FCS channel. And this Thursday, 8 p.m. 7 Central, the FCS show, 3rd half. A lot to talk about, especially with the playoffs coming up. Don't you miss it. For everything Futsal Champions Series, we hope you enjoyed this excellent match in the Detroit Ole game, the Michigan Derby. Ole Futsal Club again staying undefeated with a 6-2 win. On behalf of the entire FCS team and production crew, I'm Chris Fernandez, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday night.
The attack.
Kluppel now with it. Space inside. Shot. He finds the back of the net. Lansing City up by 1.
We haven't said it yet this season, but what a rocket from Jeremy Kleppel.